This day 311 of the Arukh HaShulchan OC. I apologize for the bad lighting today. Let's share next year. Hopefully it'll be better. If you'd like to sponsor an upcoming share of the Arukh HaShulchan OC, it'd be very greatly appreciated. Contact me directly, please. Today we're doing Simon Reish Tes Zayin Sif Ches to Reish Yud Zayin Aleph, and we're in Reish Tes Zayin. We're still in the middle of the Birchas HaReach. Al egos muscat shu ikar pera on a muscat nut, which is the primary part of the fruit. Al kanila according to simmering, the kalava shu negalach. So obviously, there are different types of um, uh, nuts or similar things, fruit, and Mr. Bura says that. Klava, some people say just to make a bar mina b'samim, but nevertheless, according to Arukh HaShulchan, am she'enu ikar pera, since even though they're not the ikar pera, nevertheless came shikora mei lachila, since it's primarily a fruit which is supposed to be eaten. L'chein she'en pera lo v'reichel, therefore it has the name of a fruit for its fragrance. Chein kol minei b'samim she'koron lachila, so too by all sorts of spices which are made primarily to eat. Even though they have to be fixed, cooked, etc., in order to be eaten, nevertheless, you make that bracha for fruit. Avala bered, shekorin rosa, a rose, kinoma, shu ate India. I guess it's the cinnamon comes from the India tree. Meha bered, shekorin rosenwasser, rose water. Lavona, frankincense, mitztache. Which is a type of sap which comes out of the tree. I actually ordered frankincense from Amazon, and in and of itself, it doesn't seem that much of a fragrance. Only if you burn it, and then the fragrance is not necessarily particularly exciting to the modern nostrils, but you have to burn it in order to get a fragrance out of it. Etc. All these make a borei atzei b'samim. Even though you eat them by confecting them with sugar. Nevertheless, they're not primarily made to eat, but to smell. That's to make the bracha. Which means eitzim, since they're a type of tree, not a type of grass. Everything where the stalk is hard is included in the category of tree. The low is not in the category of grass. Shibura says that on the large roses that grow on rose bushes, you make bracha borei atzei b'samim. But those which grow down in the ground make a borei isvei b'samim. The Gra says, according to the Gra, if it lasts from year to year, even if it's slow down to the ground, you make atzei b'samim. Okay, test. Al Shem Nafrasim, which is Shem Yikar Ma'od, you are rock of Eretz Yisrael, Chod Eretz Yisrael. On firestone oil, which is very special oil and grows only in Eretz Yisrael. It's an honor of Eretz Yisrael. They made a special bracha. Shabur's language is because it's significant and it's prevalent in Eretz Yisrael. Baruch Shem Arev. So it was Rabbi Davin or Samach, Rabbi Shlomo Cohen, who every Yom Kippur would bring Shemen Arev, a firestone oil to smell for the bracha. And it smell very good. I don't remember exactly what it smelled like offhand. If you took olive oil, which you ground, which you pulverize the ground, I'm not sure exactly how that happens. It's the point that has great fragrance. Because it's from an olive which comes from a tree. But other oils which do not grow on a tree, if their fragrance wafts out from themselves, not from a tree. If you put in oil types of spices from and then they have a fragrant smell, which is similar to the way they made the Shemen HaMishcha and the Beis HaMikdash. If the way you enhanced the smell of the oil was through spice trees, the some is through spice grasses, Barbary is Vebasamit. We go after whatever gives the fragrance. When that fragrance remains there in the oil. if it had fragrances from wood and other types of spices, you make the bracha burning b'samim. If you strained it, you remove from it all the spices. Some will say you make a bracha shemen arei on it because just like the parasimon oil, because the oil became sweet but fragrant by this means. Of clouds, some will say on the contrary, don't make a bracha at all. Because the sweetness is not from the oil itself. Just observe from some elsewhere. It's like a fragrance which does not have a source. Which you don't make a bracha. It's like the incense used to give a fragrant smell to vessels. We're going to learn we don't make a bracha on it. Which is for a similar reason. It's a matter of doubt. It's appropriate to refrain from smelling other kinds of oils which are made fragrant by spices that have been removed. And you can't even make some on it because maybe it's not worthy of bracha at all. So therefore, you should not make a bracha. The Achronim say that somebody who does not want to machmir on himself, he can actually go with chatchila and make a bracha burning b'samim. So another case in which the Mishbur is more makel than the Arukh HaShulchan, so to speak. Yeshua those who say shem barak burning b'samim. Those who say make a burning b'samim on this oil. Shem daimim l'kelim l'gumarim. These are not like clothes which have absorbed fragrance from incense. Shlo kol to arach mikar bosem, because then they didn't absorb the smell from the primary fragrance. And here it's only a suffix which bracha to make. But name is sign puts as a call, and burning with works no matter what. Yesh playing the kan okan. Arukh HaShulchan is not taking sides. Something like Mishnah Berurah says go either way. Okay, let's bring down brackets. I am going to Avram Taz because of Shlo Varech I and Sham, which seems to be an indication that again he holds not being the second said before. Suffix brachas la'acham. Yud. Kasur Rabbeinu B'Seisiv Zayin. Simlek. Chilfe. Diyama. V'varch Bari Atsev Samim. So the these substances make a Bari Atsev Samim. Simlek. Yeshim Foshim. Rosemary. Some say it's rosemary. Yeshim Foshim. Jasmine. Yeshim Shul Eser Sheshlo Sholosh Shalin. Some say it's a grass which has 3 rows of leaves. Zulamam Mizu, one above each other. L'chol Sholosh Shalin. And in each of the rows, the 3 leaves. Chilfe Diyama, which is sounds like das. Who shiboles nerd shekorin ishpik, whatever that is. Mishnah Berurah says that the Gemara says that according to Rabbeinu Yoina, Chilfe Diyama is rosemary. Okay. Anyway, going back here to the Arukh HaShulchan, he says that this shiboles nerd, which is called ishpik, is spigener. Okay. All this from the base Yosef. Sigle behem violes, I think it's violets. Is something. Nargis vuchabatzeles, Ishun liria. In God, the beginning grows in a garden. Bori atzebes samim. The God beside grows in a field. Bori itzvei samim. Akan l'shana. Arukh HaShulchan says, "Ain't only going to meet a cloud." Of course, nowadays we certainly know some of them. Itzvei tzarich lamar ha'ayin b'chiruk. In other words, it's very isvei v'samim, v'asin v'shva is, v'avez v'tzere isvei. The time I first meant God the beginning of God, so why is there a difference between if something grows in the field and grows in the garden? The beginning of mashkim mishayim, also in the garden, you water it and preserve it. Even when the wood shrivels up, and dries up. That's the bonus that saves something. But in the field you don't water it, you don't pay attention to it, and therefore it doesn't really last. Only when it's soft. When it's a grass. So it's interesting halacha here, which is not true by bracha on food, is that here it depends what stage and we had it before by roses, what stage of growth it is. It can be before something comes in eighths. It can be in eighths, and the bracha can change as it grows or is maintained. Now, if you add in front of you something from trees, and something from grasses, and generic spices, you make each one its bracha. Just like by foodstuffs, that you should not deliberately go ahead and make a shackle on it. Here too, you shouldn't all include them all generically in many Person made the bracha on the tree spice, and then afterwards on the grass spice, and then on generic spices. So it seems different. It seems that when you have more for you make a bracha b'samim and exempts all of them. It seems this reason is it's not like food because here the fragrance comes, since they're all in front of you, from all of them together. So the fragrance merges, and therefore and make a bracha on all of them together. If you make a bracha you are yotze. That should be obvious. What's he telling us? Base. Rather, he needs to say is that you can even the make a burning of something in this circumstance. You base. They burn in front of you a myrtle, and oil to smell. If the bracha is the same bracha, you make a bracha on the myrtle, but there's a shemen exempt oil. The hadas is more significant than the oil. Zel gets the brief for Rambam. That's going to those bits. There's a Rashi. But tasteless and baruch al Hashem, but it's hadas the other way around. Make a baruch on the oil and exempt hadas. Name baruch same Shabbos. The baruchs are not the same. The baruch hadas chil make a baruch on hadas first. Another be mina take your right hand. Tamashim mevarich, and whenever you make a baruch, tzarich leachos be mina after on the right hand. The baruch hadas come on atzei b'samim. In this respect, the baruch on hadas is like the baruch on atzei b'samim. But chashuv yoser, and it's more significant. Kamosha Bari Prates, Kamosha Shahako. It's like Bari Prates, it comes before Shahako. Gimel, Yud Gimel. Vizman Hashasi Mavin Bukmar Bigmar Suda. Nichal Nega Cholim. At the end of the time, the Shasi used to bring an incense at the end of the meal and put on a coal, Shatala Reachim, for the fragrance to waft in front of all those who assembled. Meisai Bracha Mugmar, for when you make the Bracha on Mugmar, Mishiala Kitor Ashano, once the smoke of its the steam and smoke rises before the fragrance reaches you. So the bracha should be adjacent to the performance. It's adjacent to your deriving the pleasure from it. The Jabur says, but yeah, you can make a bracha even after you smell it, which of course we learned previously. Make a bracha before the steam starts rising. The main and someone else, it's got to be right adjacent before you're doing it. About mugmar is like all other spices. If a tree, you make even the fragrance comes only after they're burnt, nevertheless, they came from a tree. If they're from grass and bore, if you make the bracha on grasses. If it's from other species, bore mine b'sami. That's it. Yesh mugmar shlochim b'beis rokeach, and from by us there is a certain type of mugmar incense which we take from the house of the pharmacist. It's a different name which is used for compounding these kind of mixtures. I forget what. Not druggist, something else. It's not tip of my tongue, back of my head. I can't remember. Apothecary. The apothecary. Agulim ktanim shcherim, which are round, small, and black. Nosim masam boka kol chanos in the morning on the windows. Malikim masam, you ignite them. Nosim raftov, and they gave a good fragrance. Yima kabanu v'shil raf. If you intend to spoil a good fragrance, burning me b'samim. Make the bracha. But if it's in order to remove bad smells, answer the bracha does not require bracha. As shall be explained in the next simon. You dive because the Ramah writes here at the end of the simons. Some say if you smell a a pas cham. You can smell a hot piece of bread. Yesh Baruch Shenosan Reach Tov B'Pas. He who gave a good smell in the bread. Yesh Min Ein Baruch Love. Some say you shouldn't. Lachen Ein Reich Bo. Therefore, you should not smell fresh bread, which is difficult for us to avoid. I don't understand anyways, says Arukh HaShulchan, what good fragrance there is by bread. By pasta says maybe by bread which is made like a pastry, with butter and with spices. Mishnah Berurah writes that if this was the case, then it would be like the fragrance of fruit, because it's made with fruit. Good point. Okay, in any event, or in this case, whatever the psalm are. The event says, we never heard you make a bracha on fragrant bread. In the several good smells, which come out of cooked dishes of all sorts, when they're hot, don't make a bracha on them. The intent is not for the smell. And of course, even if you were to make a bracha on the bread, it would have to have intent for the smell. Somebody who smells fruit peels, which have a good fragrance, called a politzin. I know what it is, but orange peels, I think, some have a good smell. If the intent is to smell, so make the bracha on those saying reach tov peros. Aleph, Hanichnas Chanusa Shabbat. I'm sorry, Reishut Zayin. Alezim Samim Barchim, on which some do make a bracha, but it's an Ein Barchim, on which some do not make a bracha. Aleph, Hanichnas Chanusa Shabbat Basim. Somebody goes into a shop of fragrances, Sheish Bamini B'Sam Marbei, which are many types of spices. We came in and Osman. I reckon they have mind to enjoy the smell. The Baruch B'Mini B'Sam make a bracha. B'Mini B'Sam. Mishnah Berurah brings the storekeeper himself makes a bracha the first time he comes into a store, and he says that you definitely, the storekeeper should have in mind when he comes into a store to deliberately smell the fragrance, in which case he'll definitely make a bracha. It's only suffix, he says, if he didn't have in mind to enjoy the fragrance. Anyway, so when you come in, you make a bracha. We said the whole day, you only make one bracha. If you go come in and go out, there's Yotze come and go out, and make a bracha every time you have a mind to smell. It's only you didn't have a mind to come back. If you had a mind to come back, don't make a bracha when you come back. But this is also only when you had a mind to come back immediately. How we learned that things which are require bracha in their place. When you change places, you have to make a new bracha when you return. Because it's something you should apply to fragrance chain, bracha achlena cloud. There's no bracha achlena mekin gam b'chazim yada elavarech. So therefore, it should terminate immediately, and immediately when you come back, you should have, even if you left for a moment, you should have to make a bracha. They okay, it's not that way. The bishlam misham ochel davar ach mashacham mikol. They were eating something you knew which you didn't eat previously. Shekvarnecha, because they probably already was eaten. But here, you're smelling the same fragrance that you smelled previously. Therefore, you go immediately, ain't sorich bracha. If then you smell other fragrances, possibly you do make the bracha. We could say, came into the Psalmim and since by Psalmim there is no further activity which needs to be done. Immediately when you enter the store, maybe you smell it. It's not like eating, and therefore, even with other Psalmim, enter the bracha. If you go back immediately, you don't have to make a new bracha because there's no distinctiveness. But if you go into another fragrance store, so you have to make another bracha. The da'ish is in brackets, the longest brackets here. The da'ish the zeshach goes on the meaning that you have to have in mind to smell whom it has. Babach doesn't write that. Since it's made to smell, which is bar, like we shall see, even if you didn't have in mind to make a bracha, you still make a bracha. According to them, so he goes to apothecary. Got that word here? Has to make a bracha. Brings down the opinion of them is Arukh HaShulchan that somebody goes to apothecary should not make a bracha. Well, what the Arukh HaShulchan says is, when he goes back to Ikar Kataz, there's a low Efshar of Mechavi. You can't get out, but can't get out of it. You have to go to the Torah Kavan to get the Hanoah. And the word Psachim, Kafei, and Beis, the Mutar and Sham, Kol Shkein LeBracha. Certainly for a bracha, you're not going to break a bracha in those circumstances. It's called because you must go in there for some purpose. It's like we said previously, yesterday. Not to make a bracha when entering the apothecary works out.